Hello everyone, I am Sandeep Singh, Associate Professor, School of Hotel Management, Babu Banarsi Das University, Lucknow. Today, I am going to deliver my lecture on brewing process of beer. Let's start. Production or manufacturing process of beer. First one is malting. It is the first step in production. It malting In malting, the starch is converted to soluble sugar. Barley is soaked in water for about 3 days. Then it is spread on malting floor, which causes germination or sprouting. Moisture, warmth, and oxygen are necessary for the growth of shoot and rootlets. Insoluble sugars are converted to soluble sugar by enzymes diastase. The germinated cereal is called as green malt. Green malt is then dried and roasted in a kiln at 204 degrees Celsius to stop further germination. The temperature and the length of time the cereal is heated dictate the color and taste of the beer. Now, next is mashing. Mashing. Crushed malt is called grist. Water is added to the grist. Mash is then mixed and cooked for 1 to 6 hours, during which malt enzyme converts starch in maltose. And at what temperature? Temperature at 65 degrees Celsius. The liquid contained in a mash is transferred into another tank called a lauter tun. This is accomplished by drawing the liquid out through the bottom layer of mash solids, which acts as a filter. Hot water is added to the top of the mash tank to rinse the remaining liquid, now called wort, from the mash. The solid remains of the grain are dried and sold by the brewery as animal feed. The solution is called as wort. Wort means liquid which has natural sugar. And the next one is brewing. Brewing, wort is placed in the huge copper or stainless steel kettles where dried hops and sugar are added. The amount of sugar and the hops added depend on the style of beer under production. Wort is boiled for 1 to 2 hours, which makes the wort bitter. After brewing is complete, the finished wort is filtered again and pumped to the fermentation tanks. Now, cooling and pitching. The wort is then cooled down to 15 degrees Celsius and transferred to fermenting vats. The wort should not be at 30 degrees Celsius and above. Yeast remains active between 5 degrees and 30 degrees Celsius. Now, fermentation. There are two types of fermentation, top fermentation and second is bottom fermentation. Saccharomyces cerevisiae yeast is used for top fermentation and Saccharomyces causevernensis is used for bottom fermentation. Now, top fermentation and bottom fermentation. Saccharomyces cerevisiae is used for top fermentation, has a tendency to multiply and float on the top. Fast and vigorous process at a high temperature, that is 15 to 25 degrees Celsius, produced in few days, produces heavy foam at top because the yeast rinses to the surface. Then it is filtered, bottled, and packaged for immediate consumption. Example is ale, porter, stouts, etc. And bottom fermentation, the yeast is Saccharomyces causevernensis, has a tendency to multiply and settle at the bottom, slow process. Yeast works slowly at low temperature, 5 to 9 degrees Celsius. Fermentation starts at the bottom by producing the carbon dioxide bubbles that emerge at the top of the beer. The above process helps to have a smooth and flavor mellow beer. Example is lager beer. Now maturing aging. After the fermentation, ale is racked into storage tank and stored for 3 to 21 days. The lager is racked into storage tank and matured for 10 to 24 weeks at a temperature range of 1 to 3 degrees Celsius. Lagering helps the beer to mature. During the maturation, the yeast settles, harsh flavors mellows, and the beer gets its natural texture and carbonation. Now next is pasteurizing. After aging, the beer can be pasteurized to kill the remaining yeast and prevent further alcohol production. This is accomplished by heating the beer above 135 degree Fahrenheit. Brightening or clarifying. In the step, beers are brightened with the addition of finnings. It is done to remove tannins, dead yeast cells, and other products. Next is carbonation or conditioning. Natural process of conditioning will give gas to produce the head. Addition of carbon dioxide to make beer fizzy. If no CO2 is the beer is found, the beer is called as flat. Carbonation can be achieved by injecting the CO2 in the neutral containers. Casking and packaging. The beers are placed into the sterilized casks, kegs, bottles, and cans. The beer is then cooled, labeled, packed, and distributed for sales. Cans are coated with lacquer kind of sealing wax to avoid any reaction of brew with the metal can. This was about the manufacturing process of beer. Thank you.